to Ninja Monkey. I'm Nathan and I am in Kyoto, Japan. So today I have a question. How has Kyoto suffered from the lack of tourism? And I have, well, not quite Kyoto residents, but close enough, from Nara. A little bit of a Japan YouTube content creator also. And we're gonna be discussing and exploring exactly that topic. So stay tuned. One of the things that I've noticed more comparable than to Tokyo is most definitely the lack of tourists. I think in Tokyo you notice maybe the lack of foreigners, but not necessarily the lack of tourists. And one of the things that I've most certainly noticed is so many souvenir shops, so many tourism-based industries here that are suffering from not having tourists.
Kyoto definitely doesn't have enough tourists to support what's going on that's been built up over the years. It's definitely starting to come back slowly, ever so slowly, but not enough, I think, to keep it going. Japan really needs to start to think to open its borders if it wants to keep Kyoto as a top tourist destination, to be honest.
I think importance because economy is getting grow to come to なんだっけforeigner come.
Yeah.
But I worry about corona virus. Yeah.
It's a concern. I think Japan's slowly, again, it's changes slowly, right? So it's starting to realize that you can't put every time there's a spike into a state of emergency anymore. It's becoming less effective. People are taking off their masks as the government has kind of allowed people to do it when they're walking outdoors. But in general, the majority of the people still wear masks, still adhere to the rules. So it's whatever the government says, they'll follow. But the government's opening and moving in the right direction, but at a pretty slow pace compared to other countries, I would say.
Many people
Take off.
take off their mask. And なんだっけ so many people going to なんか fire festival.
Like fireworks?
Yeah, firework. Yeah.
Baseball games.
Baseball, yes. Yeah. But is it okay?
I think the older people are still a bit more cautious than not. I find they're often like looking at other people without masks or often wearing them more. And where young people tend to just kind of think, okay, let's live our lives now, let's get over it kind of thing. But maybe they were always like that here in Japan. I don't know. I haven't really been keeping track. But for me personally, we start to take off our masks a bit more now that it's super hot and humid, as you're feeling. But I can understand a little bit more like both sides of the coin if the older people don't want to go to Fushimi. It is super hot this summer though, so maybe it is a bit dangerous for them to go out there too. But yeah, people are slowly coming back. I mean, the more we come to Kyoto as the months go by, regardless of the spike, people are coming back to festivals. Like when we were in Gion, we're surprised. Hey, there's people here now. We went to Fushimi, and it was basically 3 people on the mountain. You know, it was beautiful. Very rare to get these stunning empty shots of the torii gates, the shrines, but it's kind of sad at the same time, right?
So actually, Kyoto had around 5 million visitors come every year, and that number has fallen dramatically. And it's evident in shops and restaurants, and not just that, but also in the streets of Kyoto.
So naturally, the next question is, what is the future of Kyoto? Will it come back to its former self? Will it surpass the amount of visitors it had pre-corona? What do you guys think?
Over-tourism has been something that has been spoken about a lot here in Kyoto. And as a seasoned traveler of Japan, I can tell you firsthand that perhaps over-tourism was a problem.
Before was too many because there are so crowded, so we couldn't go to なんつうの somewhere うまくいけなかったね。
You can go anywhere easily.
Yeah, easily. So yes. So
And now?
Now we can go somewhere easily, like Kyoto, Nara, somewhere. I think.
The local people of Kyoto and around Japan have obviously benefited of not having tourists in the sense that they've been able to travel and enjoy some experiences with less crowded places, maybe even cheaper hotels and more availability too. But things need to change. I think personally, I've noticed that there is this hope in the air of people wanting, hoping for tourists to return. Even those people who have in the past sort of shown enjoyment of not having tourists because they've been able to travel freely. But now, even these people are noticing that things need to change.
Personally, I hope tourism comes back to Japan, but not as much as before, or if we can kind of balance that out with people able to experience the main tourist spots, but go a little bit off the beaten path, like explore those Inaka areas, explore the countryside. If you've been to Japan before, it makes sense to kind of reach into its kind of more unknown, deeper parts of the country where you can appreciate the culture, the food, and the locals a lot more. If you've been here the first time, I do recommend coming to Kyoto, coming to Tokyo, getting those ways kind of on your bucket list cross off the list. But at the same time, do be courageous and venture a little bit out there. There's so much more to Japan than what is often highlighted in so many channels.
So the question really is the future of tourism here in a place like Kyoto. It's probably been most evident compared to Tokyo, where I was just a few days ago. Tokyo felt like it was sort of just bounced back. Stores that were maybe closed have now been replaced by similar stores. Restaurants that might have been restaurants that I frequented in the past are no longer there, but have been replaced by other businesses or restaurants. But in Kyoto, there is this feeling of people just waiting for tourists to return, and there is this feeling of sort of like time has been frozen, and people are just waiting for the play button so that things can return. All in all, I think that although the story currently where I stand here in this beautiful shrine behind me in Yasaka Shrine here in Kyoto. It's a very sad reality, but I think it's going to have its fairy tale ending. Anyway, if you've liked this video, thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. As I always do, you know what's coming. Prove that you've watched this far by adding a chica emoji in the comment section, a deer emoji by the way.
Yeah, shika.
Chica,
Shika.
shika.
Yeah.
And check out Lito's and Shika's channels. They are based here in Japan, and you might be interested in seeing what they get up to in real life. And if you are some kind of social media content creator who is based in Japan or has an interest in Japan or some kind of specialism in Japan, and you're interested in doing something with me, reach out, because this is exactly what I want to do. On that note, thank you very much for watching. Stay positive but COVID negative. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.